So basically, um, the session's objective for today is going to be identifying three main categories for the good AI in activism. We're going to also explore real-world case studies where AI is used for climate justice. We're going to list practical, low-cost tools, and we're going to learn how to apply an ethical checklist to ensure our AI use is responsible and just. We have learned previously the risks, and now we learn the responsible rewards and how to apply these powerful tools in our work. A quick recap through the previous sessions. Um, we learned whether or not it's fair or not in the session number three, the AI bias and discrimination. We learned whether or not this tool uses representative data or does it use just to reinforce existing bias. We've also learned in the session for everything about AI colonialism and data colonialism. Actually, we learned how to um, accept and make it ours. In other words, and whether or not does it empower us or does it just lock us into a system that's not ours. And we've also learned about the ethics. Um, is it transparent? Is it accountable? And is it built with the community or for the community? Because here is where basically the difference is. So let's dive in today's session, the way AI can be handy. Um, First things first, we shall not always take AI for it is a threat. It can be a helping hand instead. And how is that? Because there are a lot of AI tools that help us through monitoring and predictions. For instance, artificial intelligence models can see what humans cannot. So AI models can analyze thousands of satellite images or audio feeds to find patterns. For example, deforestation or pollution, or even forecast prediction to get us to help ourselves being protected from natural disasters and so on. Um, second, it can be an analysis tool and an efficient tool helping us through analysis. So it does help us doing the grunt work fast. For AI can read up to thousands and thousands of pages of legal documents or scientific reports in seconds to find the exact info you need. Instead of getting yourself to read through massive documents, artificial intelligence can do that for you, and you can precise what exact saying information that you need. That's another thing. And also, artificial intelligence models can be used for communication and mobilization, enforcement, and that's throughout translating our message. Because artificial intelligence models can help us draft compelling press release, policy briefs, social media posts, and of course, grant proposals in multiple languages. So it can be used as a trusted translator that understands the context and give us a final saying result to that. So moving on through case studies, the case study one is the monitoring, and what it is the rainforest connection, which is RF CX. So how does it work? People through the rainforest connection place old solar-powered cell phones in multiple rainforests around the globe, and an AI model listens 24/7 to all audios. So the AI job here is to recognize the sound of chainsaw, maybe logging tracks, gunshots, and slightly or precisely distinguish them from animal or weather sounds. And what does that do as an impact? It sends real time alerts to local rangers or indigenous communities or forest protection associations, enabling them to stop illegal loggings as it happens, not just days later when we regret not knowing that it happened. So that's also one major important use. For the case study number two, it is a case study of the climate race, and where they used artificial intelligence as an analysis model. So the problem here was that we could not stop emissions if we don't know exactly where they came from. Because self-reporting by countries or companies is not reliable, they always hide the actual truth from us. That's the reality of things. So the AI job here is to analyze satellite imageries and machine learning to identify and track every major source of greenhouse gas emissions on Earth. So it takes basically thousands and thousands of satellite images and go through each one of them, parkour them all in order for it to find out where the emissions come from exactly, and of course learn on how to distinguish which is which. The impact here is that activists and negotiators can use this objective public data to hold specific polluters accountable and demand justice and demand actions, of course. So this is also one thing that where AI is basically helpful. um, Moving on to a small practical toolkit to do data and visualization. So um, everyone knows Google Map, but there is an even more advanced um, search engine that exists there, made by Google, which is the Google Earth engine. So it is basically a free planet-sized library of satellite imagery and tools to analyze it. So, for instance, in Google Earth, you can track the changes um, in a time lapse kind of thing. So you can get back to a certain date. I guess it's back to 1985 tops. And you can do a time lapse, or you can take even screenshots from different eras and from different times in order for you to help you analyze. So, for example, lake shad or urban sprawl over 20 years. So you can basically check for lake shad and see how it was back in 2 years and create time lapse. You will see basically a devastating um, images. So that's one thing. And also QGIS, which is basically a free open source mapping program. Usually architecture students and architects use that because it gives you sort of mapping thing for geological um, difference throughout multiple regions and so on, and topography also. So you take data from the Google Earth engine and use some AI plugins that already exist in QGIS, and that helps you automatically classify land. As an example, it can tell you that this is a new farmland, for instance, or this is a new settlement because it didn't exist prior to that, through the help of Google Earth engines, satellite images, and the AI plugins that exist in QGIS, you can find out that. So these are for data and visualization. You can also use LLMs, which are large language models such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, whatever it is that you basically type something and it gives you back a result, whether it's image, whether it's a video, whether it's a result, document, or whatever it is. So you can basically use it to summarize documents. You can use it to draft. You can use it to analyze as well. Multiple documents at once and huge documents at once. You can also use AI translations, namely DeepL. DeepL is a very advanced context-aware translation model, and you can basically translate whatever you wish for throughout throughout DeepL. So that's basically for the toolkits. And now going through an ethical checklist for activists that we always have to keep in mind. So first things first, we should always ground truth our data, never to trust it, but always verify, always combine AI data results with local and indigenous knowledge. So that's basically one thing that's important. We should also always check for hallucinations because LLMs usually invent things and you can easily manipulate them to tell you whatever you wish to hear. So um, always check for hallucination. Always use AI to draft, not to finalize or not to completely craft something. And last but not least, prioritize open and secure tools. So, for instance, ask yourself, is this tool a black box? Are you feeding sensitive campaign data into that corporate AI tool, or is it simply there to help an open source program? So always choose the AI data tool or the AI tool that respects your data. So this is also very important. Um, a quick discussion you can have with your colleagues, your people, your community, and even with yourself is whether or not your local government has proposed a new massive industrial park on protective wetland. So this is the topic, and these are the questions. Try to think it out. Try to come out with a plan. Let's say of which tools that can help you build your case against that. That's very important. And last but not least is the takeaways. Takeaways from today's session is that AI is a powerful force multiplier if used correctly. Always start with free accessible tools like Google Earth, like ChatGPT, Gemini, um, these kinds of tools that gives you a free plan at least, but use them wisely, of course, and then use the ethical checklist. Ground check truth, check for hallucination, prioritize open source always, to use responsibly, and always keep in mind that AI is not there to replace us nor to do all the job. It is there to assist. So that's basically our session for today. The session that's coming up next is the environmental impact of AI, where we're going to learn how is AI damaging, let's say, or influencing the environmental crisis in today's world. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got whatever you came for, and always share information and stay curious. Thank you. So